With your CIGTV news update, community news, and weather forecast, I'm Jay Earhart. Thanks for joining us. The UK Minister for State for Armed Forces met with Premier, the Honourable Aldham McLaughlin, at the Government Administration Building this morning. The Right Honourable Mark Lancaster is on island for 4 days to discuss disaster relief and the Cayman Islands support for the Bahamas following Hurricane Dorian. In addition to visiting Customs and Border Control and the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service Marine Unit, the minister will meet with the Cayman Islands Cadet Corps to learn about their training and programs. Discussions with Red Cross and Hazard Management Cayman Islands are also on the agenda. Elsewhere, we went behind the scenes of a recent school inspection visit to Montessori Del Sol to get a better understanding of how the inspection process works. The Office of Education Standards, or OES, has now entered the second full year of its school inspection cycle. The inspection process involves a team of inspectors spending 3 to 5 days in a school to report on what it does well and what it could do better. OES Director Peter Carpenter explains the importance of school inspections.
The inspections are really important to support the ongoing improvement in education in Cayman Islands. We see the process as being supportive, but also, as necessary, a challenging process to help leaders understand what they're doing well in their schools and what they need to do to be even better.
Montessori Del Sol head of school Amy Lipton describes the school's experience with the inspectorate process.
We've had pretty positive feedback so far. They've enjoyed the space and the children have been very welcoming, and the staff. We find that having people come in, our children are used to families coming in for tours, so we find that they're pretty relaxed and engaging with the inspectors so far. We've had good feedback. We've had a nice opportunity to sort of get some more information on the way a traditional school model works and ways that our Montessori model also fit the early years curriculum framework. Our staff have been working really hard to make a map and to link the early years curriculum framework with our Montessori materials. So that's been a big task that we've been working on over the past few months. And we find that it all seems to be a good team building experience.
OES Director Carpenter says his office is now little more than halfway through its cycle of inspecting all government and private schools in the Cayman Islands. In our final story, as the Cayman Islands observes World Mental Health Day, public and private sector healthcare professionals attend a very special professional public event at the Hartgrove Theater. The theme of the event focused on the relationship between the mental health and domestic violence. The program featured a performance of the play Downside Up by Dr. Frank McField. Mental Health Commission Chair Dr. Mark Lockhart explains why organizers selected the drama, which he tells the story of a child who is the victim of domestic abuse.
This event came together primarily through the desires of the Mental Health Department at the Cayman Islands Hospital that puts on this type of program every year in concert with the Mental Health Commission of the Cayman Islands. So planning started several months ago, and it was actually the idea of Mr. Ken Figuera, who is the occupational therapist in the Mental Health Department, that saw the play, Downside Up, and felt that it was such a powerful play from a mental health and a psychological aspect and the cultural aspect of it, that it would have been a great idea to put it on for World Mental Health Day and to bring segments of the community in to see it, especially the young people.
Dr. Lockhart notes that the World Mental Health Day Symposium began with the Mental Health Department at the Health Services Authority.
A major part of mental health in general comes from several different origins. So there's a biological aspect to mental health, there's an environmental aspect in terms of what we go through and experience, and then there are personality differences that contribute. But all of those things start with the family. And that's where a lot of these things start. So this play was very poignant in terms of how it highlighted the conflict going on in family, things like abuse, domestic violence, violence in general, illness, hiding things, denial. All of these things start at an early age, generally in early environments and family, and can lead to future problems down the line. So today was really highlighting the contributing that the family has in terms of our mental health and our problems with our mental health.
The performance was preceded by a presentation on strengthening healthcare providers' response to domestic violence, and a panel discussion on the same subject concludes activities. Next up, our stories making headlines from the Radio Cayman newsroom. The National Trust is introducing a craft class that focuses on traditional Caymanian music. On the curriculum is an intimate performance by the traditional Cayman music kitchen band Swanky at Mission House in Boddentown. This will be followed by discussions and a Q&A on the history of kitchen music in the Cayman Islands. And if you need more information, visit the National Trust Facebook page. The Water Authority Cayman has announced this year's scholarship recipients. Alexander Elias will study applied computer science at Dalhousie University. And meanwhile, Kayla Giron will pursue a degree in information technology at the Florida International University in Miami, Florida. The Authority scholarship of up to $30,000 CI dollars is provided to a suitably qualified Caymanian pursuing an undergraduate academic or technical vocational degree or diploma in a field of study relevant to the Authority's work. And in our final segment today, the Cayman Compass recently sat down with His Excellency the Governor Martin Roper. Their mission to get to know the Queen's newest representative to the Cayman Islands. Stay tuned to find out what the governor had to say about the most challenging position of his career and what surprised him about the Cayman Islands.
So here we are with Governor Martin Roper. Governor, thank you very much for taking the time to spend with us.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure to do this interview.
Now, what's been great about you is that you've been out there on social media a lot. You've been mingling with the community a great deal since you arrived on the island, and we wanted to get to know you a little better, if we may.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you some probing questions. So the very first one. So over the years, it seems that people in your position and even the royal family have become more accessible to the public. So do you think this is a good thing, and if so, why?
Yes, I do think it's a good thing, and I think it's for me as governor, what I think is really important is to help the public understand what I do, and social media is perfect for that. So I used to use Twitter when I was ambassador in Algeria quite a lot. Facebook, there's a governor's Facebook page, and when I came here, we also set up an Instagram page. Now, I didn't know what Instagram was before I came to the Cayman Islands, but it's so popular here. I realised very quickly that if we were going to do social media, we'd need an Instagram page. So I have an Instagram page which is doing well, and I think just being able to break down barriers and show what the sort of daily activities of the governor and the office are is really useful, and being able to communicate with people that you wouldn't normally have any contact with, I think is really, really important. So I think it's just a way of communicating, of breaking down barriers, and I do think it's a good thing.
Have you ever lived in a Caribbean island before?
I haven't, so this is my first experience of the Caribbean, and I think the islands are spectacularly beautiful, but it's the people always that make a place, and I think we are blessed on these islands to have wonderful people.
We see that you're actually taking advantage of some of the activities on the island. You're a fan of paddleboarding. I hear.
I have occasionally gone paddleboarding. I do have a paddleboard, so it is sometimes quite nice at weekends, just to get away from it all, just to head out as far out to sea as I can, although sometimes the police who guard Government House do come and watch from the fence, and I can see them getting a bit agitated the further out I go. But so far, no incidents.
Are they ready to dive in at any moment to come out and save you?
I would hope so if it was necessary, but we haven't tested it.
So Cayman is known for its fantastic food. I mean, when you see the food festivals, Taste of Cayman, Pirates Week,
yes,
when you get all the local dishes coming out. So what is your favourite Cayman dish?
I mean, the food is fantastic, and I know Cayman is one of the best places in the Caribbean for food. So that's something to be proud of. I mean, I love seafood, so I really enjoy eating all the different types of fish, sort of mahi, and I love the beef, Cayman beef. I think is fantastic. I mean, there are just so many nice things where we're spoilt for choice. I mean, breadfruit as well, and plantain, all of it. I love food. There are very few things I don't eat, so this is a great place to be.
We see that you have picked up playing the steel pan. Rumours have got around.
Right.
Some offers are coming in from some international concerts. So now you have ventured into the musical world. Are there any plans to learn any other instrument?
Well, I was sort of proud of what I did on the steel pan, although actually it was Earl Lapere who deserves all the credit. I mean, absolutely incredible teacher, and I don't have a lot of natural musical talent, so he did wonders with me. So I think for now I'll leave it there. I don't have any plans to learn another instrument, but I'm trying to continue with the steel pan. So I still have the steel pan at Government House. I'm still practicing the tunes that I learned. So I think my aim now is maybe to learn one or two more rather than learn a new instrument. But I do think that, you know, getting out of your comfort zone and doing something very different is good for all of us, and it was certainly something which I'd never thought of doing, and enjoyed the experience.
Does your staff and wife love hearing you rehearsing?
That's a very good question. I think in the run-up to the Queen's birthday party, my wife was looking forward to getting the date over with.
And what is the one thing that you would like people to know about you that they don't already?
That's a really difficult question, and I think one of the things I would say, and people probably do know a bit about this, but I don't know, I was held hostage by Saddam Hussein in Iraq in 1990 as a diplomat. It sounds dramatic.
It does.
So I was a diplomat in our embassy in Kuwait when Saddam Hussein invaded the first time in 1990 when he invaded Kuwait, and I was brought up to Baghdad with 5 other diplomats from our embassy in Kuwait, and we were not allowed to leave Baghdad for 5 months, from August pretty much till December. So Lizzie, my wife, had been evacuated to the UK, but I mean, I wasn't held in prison and badly treated, but I wasn't allowed to leave Iraq for 5 months. So being held hostage by Saddam Hussein is perhaps something that not everybody knows.
No.
You look shocked and worried. I'm all right.
No, I'm going to be okay. No, I had absolutely no idea.
Yeah. But I think this is, as a diplomat, sometimes these sort of things happen. In Algeria, I led the UK crisis response to a terrible terrorist attack on the BP and Statoil gas site, and sadly we lost 6 British nationals. But to lead that UK response was also a pretty tough, challenging time. But these things do happen in a lifetime career in the sort of foreign service. So, but I hope that's it now for me. No more situations like that.
Do you find that these experiences have led you to sort of make the most of life? Do you think it's affected how you live your life?
Yes, I think they do. I mean, as a Foreign Office diplomat, you certainly I feel strongly about public service, so helping people. So helping British people, whether it's British nationals who've got into difficulty, whether it's British companies and wanting to do business with other countries. So I get a lot of motivation from that, but in dealing with some of the more difficult issues, of course that builds strength of character. It makes you very resilient, and it makes you better able to deal with whatever is happening in your own sort of personal life as well. So yeah, I do think it has that impact.
Well, thank you very much, Governor Roper, for taking some time with us, and we've certainly learned some new things about you, and we look forward to learning more in the future. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
And you can go online to both Radio Cayman and the Cayman Compass for more daily community news headlines. Taking a look now at today's weather forecast for our area from the Cayman Islands National Weather Service, prepared by forecasters Gilbert Miller and Kerry Forbes. Isolated showers along with light to moderate northeasterly winds and seas are expected over the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a tropical wave over our area moves over the western Caribbean. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving southwest. For tomorrow, forecasts call for partly cloudy skies with 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be from southeast 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. We encourage you to go online to weather.gov.ky for the latest forecast, which can also be found on their Facebook page and on the Weather Radio dial 107.9 FM. And don't forget, you can download the National Weather Service app, CINWS, to have the latest weather information right at your fingertips. And that's the latest from us here at CIGTV. To see what's on our programming schedule, you can go online to gis.gov.ky and click on the publication icon at the bottom of the page. If you missed today's news update, you can check out the Facebook page and our YouTube channel. I'm Jay Earhart. Thanks for joining us.
I'm Jody Ann Fowry. I'm the Police Media Officer with the RCIPS, and I'm here to give you some crime prevention tips on how to best protect your property. The first thing that we want to discuss is our points of entries. Let's start with the front door, and then we'll move on to the windows and the back doors or sliding glass doors. The first thing to consider is the front door. This particular front door has 2 deadbolt locks. One of these deadbolt locks are properly carpentered and the other is not. When your door is properly locked, you'll hear a click at the end and the deadbolts are not able to move. If it is slightly opened, then you can push the deadbolt back without having any restrictions. I'll now proceed to show you what your lock should look like when it is properly locked. When it comes to your windows, you want to make sure that your window is locked all the way down, because even though the lock is on, if it's not all the way down, it can still be pried. The proper way to lock the window is to make sure that the window goes all the way down to the seal and then you pull across the lock. When you have a sliding glass door at home, you want to make sure that you have secondary locking devices in addition to the lock that comes with the door. One of those can be a simple piece of wood that's jamming the doorway. We want to encourage you to ensure that you don't make things easy for burglars who are looking for opportunities to break into property by leaving your property out in plain view. Some of these items are your car keys, your electronics, and your handbags. Make sure that you put these properties away when you're leaving the house or when you're going to bed. When you're going camping or if you're taking your family on a trip, you want to ensure that your property has some sign of life. This can be done by leaving a light on or putting timers on your lights. And we want to ensure that our family homes are safe. In order to do so, we encourage that people take the proper precautions by starting up neighborhood watches or encouraging family members or persons they trust to check on their properties while they're away.